Hey, you! Before you watch this, pause the video and subscribe to SemiPro right now. What's up, everybody? The NFL schedule just dropped, and we at SemiPro are going to make full schedule and season predictions for every single division in the NFL, team by team, division by division, day by day. This is going to be going on for the next week. We will get all of your favorite teams and all of your favorite divisions out in our full predictions. We're going to start off with the NFC East, home of the Redskins, Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants. This is a decent division. I mean, the Eagles and Cowboys are definitely on top right now, but some people have the Giants as a sleeper team, but we're going to go ahead and get right into the schedule breakdown. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Cowboys, and not even going to lie, this is my least favorite team in the NFL, probably in sports by far. But I tried to be as least biased as possible when making this, so I tried to be fair. So don't worry, Cowboys fans, I don't have a grudge against you guys for this. I tried to do my absolute best and give accurate predictions for the 2020 NFL season. So to start off, they've got the Rams and the Falcons. I think those are two fairly simple wins for the Cowboys. I think they're just going to out-talent those two teams. Then they've got to travel to Seattle. That spells trouble to me. I think they lose their first game of the season there. Then they've got the Browns, who I actually think are going to be a pretty good team this season, but I do think they win that one in Jerry World. Then they've got the Giants. That should be a fairly easy win at home. And then they've got the Arizona Cardinals. This one is a little tricky for me. I'm really high on the Cardinals this year. I think the Cardinals can come in and play spoiler there. Then they've got Washington, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh on the road. I think they sweep those three games. The Philadelphia series is going to be interesting. I think they end up splitting that with the road team winning each game. And then they've got Minnesota and Washington. I think those are both pretty easy wins for the Cowboys. And then they've got to go to Baltimore and see Lamar Jackson. I don't like that one for this Dallas team. It just spells a lot of trouble for me. I think they drop that one. Then they've got Cincinnati. That should be a easy win. And then this is kind of a rough stretch to end the year. They've got the Niners and the Eagles. I think they drop both of those games in a row. And then they finish the year strong with a win at the Giants, but they end up winning the division at 11-5, sitting atop the NFC East. Okay, now sitting at second place in the NFC East, I have my Philadelphia Eagles finishing at 10-6 and second place in the division. They have a fairly easy start to the season with Washington, LA, and Cincinnati. I could see them dropping one of those games, but I think they probably start 3-0 there before they have to go on the road to San Francisco and take their first L. San Francisco is one of the best teams in the NFL, one of the most complete rosters. I expect them to be very, very good again. I think they win at Pittsburgh, but then when they have to play the Ravens, I think they drop that one. I don't think Lamar Jackson is a good matchup for this team. I think he's going to torch them. Then they've got the Giants. I think they win that one. And we already touched on this first Eagles-Dallas game. I think they drop that one, and the road team will win each game there. Then they've got the Giants win there at Cleveland. I think they lose that one. I'm really high on the Browns this year. As long as they can piece everything together, they have a lot of talent. Then they've got the Seahawks. I also think they drop that one. This is just a really brutal stretch for them. But then I think they get things on the right track with a win at Green Bay. Then they've got to play New Orleans. I think they lose that one. At Arizona, at Dallas, at Washington. I think they finish the year strong with 3 straight wins. The Eagles have been a very good late regular season team lately, especially when the playoffs are on the line. Coming in at third place in the division, I have the New York Giants finishing at 4-12. Are the Giants better than a 4-win team? I do think so. I think they're building in the right direction. Daniel Jones is going to take a step forward this year. The coaching is good. The offense should click much better than it did last season. I expect them to be a better team, but this schedule just does them no favors. They have to face off against that brutal NFC West. They start the year off against Pittsburgh. I think they lose that one. Then they get their first win of the season at Chicago, not too high on the Bears this season. Then they play the 49ers, Rams, Cowboys, and I think they lose all 3 of those games. That is a brutal stretch for them. Then they right the ship a little bit with a win versus Washington. Then they've got to go on the road versus Philly. They dropped that one. Versus Tampa Bay, they dropped that one. At Washington, at Philadelphia, I think they drop both of those. And then they go at Cincinnati. I think they win that one. I don't think Joe Burrow is going to have this Bengals team playing too great this season. They'll definitely be better, but I don't think they're a huge threat. Then they go at Seattle. I think that's an obvious loss. It's going to be very hard for them to walk in there and win that game. Versus Arizona, I actually think they play a little bit of a spoiler here. I like the Cardinals, but I think this is a game the Giants can win. Versus Cleveland, at Baltimore, versus Dallas to end the year, I think they drop all 3 of those. Like I said, I think the Giants are a better team than a 4-12 team, but this schedule is just brutal for them. Okay, so tied for 3rd place in the division, I have the Redskins finishing 4-12. Again, kind of like the Giants, I think this is a better team than a 4-12 team, simply because of their coaching and Ron Rivera, and I think this team is on the upswing, but their roster is just not that good, and they have a brutal schedule. I actually think they start out the year 0-7. They've got to play the Eagles, the Cardinals, the Browns, the Ravens, the Rams, the Giants, and the Cowboys. I actually think they lose all of those games. They might be able to sneak that one at New York in, but I just don't think it's too likely. However, I do think they get that first win in Week 8 against the Giants. Then they win 2 more in a row. They've got at Detroit versus Cincinnati. Those are 2 very winnable games that I think they will take care of business there. But then another really tough stretch with Dallas, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, and Seattle. I think they drop all 4 of those. Then they get another little bit of a break with Carolina at home. I think they can win that game before they close out the season with a loss at Philadelphia. Okay, so with the predictions as they are, that brings the NFC East standings to this. Dallas in 1st place, Philadelphia in 2nd place, and New York and Washington tied at 3rd place. Neither of them gets that upper hand because in my predictions, they both went 1-5 within the division. If you have any arguments or complaints or agreements or just general comments on my predictions at all, feel free to comment down below. I will be happy to respond to you and debate with you or whatever is going on. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to SemiPro. We post dope sports content every single day.